Your place is outside with the caterers." That's what my mother-in-law hissed in front of 50 high society guests while smiling sweetly at everyone else. I froze for a second, gripping the edge of the table so tight my knuckles turned white. The seat next to my husband was gone, replaced by her yoga buddy who winked and sipped wine in my chair like she belonged there. If this hit your heart, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more emotional revenge stories that will leave you speechless. I stood still, pretending to smile, even as everyone glanced over and whispered. One aunt laughed and said, "Oh, poor thing, guess she forgot this isn't her kind of place." I had spent 2 years helping that family behind the scenes, fixed their debts, covered their daughter's college fees, even used my salary to pay off a loan they lied to my husband about. But tonight, I was invisible. The worst part? My husband Derek didn't say a word. He looked uncomfortable, sure, but stayed silent. That silence cut deeper than her insult. I didn't cry, I didn't scream, I just turned around, picked up my small clutch bag, and walked out. But not before handing their butler a small golden envelope with a card that said, "To be opened during dessert." I could feel my heart pounding as I got in the car. I knew what was coming. That one gift would ruin her perfect night. She thought she humiliated me, but she had no idea what I'd been hiding all along. 30 minutes later, the party was still buzzing. Champagne flowing, music soft, lights glowing. That's when the butler, as instructed, stood by the giant marble cake and tapped a spoon on his glass. "Mrs. Whitmore," he said politely, "you have a special gift to open from your daughter-in-law, Amaris." Her face stiffened. "What gift?" she asked, trying to laugh it off. But everyone turned. Phones were already recording. She opened the envelope with a smirk, and then froze. Inside was a legal property deed for the entire Whitmore estate. The mansion, the garden, even the ballroom they were standing in. Her name was nowhere on it. Signed, sealed, and transferred to me. A loud gasp spread through the room. One guest whispered, "Wait, she owns this place now?" Her glass slipped from her hand, shattered. I had bought the estate 6 months ago, quietly. She had secretly mortgaged it years back to cover gambling debts and fake business trips, and she never told anyone, not even Derek. But I found out, and I paid it off, every single penny, in my name. Aunt Linda screamed, "Is this a joke?" The lawyer I hired stepped forward from the crowd. "Yes, I invited him too. Not a joke, legally verified. Amaris Whitmore is the rightful owner of this estate, effective immediately." My mother-in-law's legs gave way. She grabbed a chair that was ironically set up just for her, the one she didn't offer me. The crowd murmured. Some started clapping. Some just watched, mouths open. Derek finally stood up. "Amaris, what is this? Why didn't you tell me?" I looked at him, calm. "You didn't speak for me when I was humiliated, so why would I speak now? When you're shocked." His face flushed. The same silence he gave me earlier? I served it back cold, but with power. And that was just the beginning. Want to know what else I owned? Before anyone could recover, the second butler entered with another envelope, black this time, and handed it straight to Derek. "Sir, this one was left by your wife too." His hands trembled as he opened it in front of everyone. A hush fell over the room. Inside was a stack of printed emails, bank statements, screenshots, all linked to one account, his mother's, showing thousands of dollars secretly withdrawn from his startup fund, the one I helped him build from scratch. She had been slowly draining it, hiding behind sweet words and fake promises. "Wait," Derek stuttered. "This can't be real." "Oh, it's real," I said, stepping back into the ballroom through the side doors. Cameras instantly turned toward me. "And that's just half of it. Your business partner, Jackson? He's been working with her. He sold your client list to competitors. I caught it 3 months ago. And instead of telling you, I bought the competition." His jaw dropped. His best friend, his own mother, They had betrayed him in secret, and I had the proof, the timing, and the receipts. I turned to the crowd. This wasn't revenge. This was self-respect. This was protection. Then I looked straight at his mother. You tried to humiliate me in your little ballroom. Now it's mine. You tried to erase my seat at the table. Now I own the table. And you're just a guest. Derek's voice cracked. Why didn't you tell me earlier? I walked closer. Because I was waiting to see if you'd ever stand beside me when it mattered. But when I was insulted, you blinked. You chose comfort over courage. Guests were already whispering, she's a genius. Did you know she ran her own investment firm? She looks like a billionaire's wife. I didn't correct them, because soon they'd find out I wasn't just the wife. I was the billionaire. Want to know how I built it all? Behind their backs? I started building it the night Derek's mom told me, "You'll never be more than a pretty face." That sentence lived in my head like poison. So while she planned her luncheons and spa days, I was coding at 3 a.m., learning investments during lunch breaks and buying tech shares with the little savings I had. No one noticed. They were too busy laughing at my hobby, a tiny app I launched from the attic. But that hobby hit 400,000 users in under a year. Then I licensed it to 3 major firms, quietly. The deals were NDA sealed. Derek didn't even know, because every time I tried to speak, I was talked over, especially by her. I played the quiet wife role so well, they never saw the fire underneath. I reinvested every dollar. Bought stocks, then buildings, turned my app into a full SaaS platform. My company got valued at $32 million, and I still stayed quiet. Why? Because I didn't want applause. I wanted proof that I could build everything alone, that I didn't need anyone to hand me a seat at the table, because I'd build the table myself. But the final push, that came when I overheard my husband tell a friend, "Amaris is sweet, but let's be real. She's not business smart. She means well." That night, I changed everything. I separated my finances, registered everything under a trust. I even hired private lawyers and built a firewall between me and every single one of them. So when they humiliated me tonight, they thought they crushed a flower. They didn't know they woke up a lioness. And as I stood there in that ballroom, silent and powerful, her perfect guests now hanging on my every word, I looked at Derek one last time. You looked the other way when I was disrespected. Now look again. I'm gone. And I walked away. But what came the next morning? That changed everything. The next morning, my phone wouldn't stop ringing. News had spread. The video of my mother-in-law's face going pale mid-party had gone viral. Millions of views in hours. Headlines screamed, "Wife destroys elite family with one envelope. From silent to savage, Amaris Whitmore owns it all." I didn't respond to calls. Not from Derek, not from his mom, not from their sorry circle of fake smiles. Instead, I stepped into the glass office of my own company, where my assistant greeted me with a proud smile. My name, Amaris Whitmore, CEO, glowed on the office wall behind her. But just as I was settling in, a guard buzzed. "Ma'am, your husband's here. Should I let him up?" I paused, looked out the 38th floor window, then pressed the intercom. "Tell him the same thing his mother told me. There's no seat for you." I turned back to my desk, picked up my pen, and signed a deal that would take my company global. I didn't look back, because the girl who won. Now the whole world was watching them fall. And me? I rose in silence, only to return to the voice they could never silence again. The end.